the Rob from 106.1 Kiss FM. I'm getting drowned out by my music here. Sorry, it's the Rob from 106.1 Kiss FM and 103gbfrocks.com. Here with my tag team partner in podcasting. Please welcome to the show, the Heavenly Body, Jerry Valeri. Good morning, Jer.
That was loud as hell. Couldn't hear a thing.
Sorry about that. Almost like I work with audio every day or something.
It's almost like that. We're doing the show. It's pre-taped from London, so,
so you can go online and get spoilers if you need them.
Absolutely. Where do you want to start? Right from the top? Take it from the top?
Yeah, well, let's just kind of compare. Like, okay, so we on this show, we've acknowledged a few times that the UK Raws sometimes have the potential to be less than your normal Raw because they're pre-taped and they just don't seem to have anything too exciting happen on these UK shows. And then I remember their last tour, a lot of exciting things happened, including several title changes, which include AJ Styles beating Jinder Mahal their last tour as well.
Right. Well, and yeah, you're right. That was there. For me, title changes are great, but I don't need title changes. I just like them moving towards a story, and they're really working towards Money in the Bank, and it seems like it's starting to flesh itself out with who's going to be in Money in the Bank, but then who also is going to be part of that card outside of the ladder matches, and so far, so good. I have one huge beef right off the bat, but it's the same beef I have every week.
What's the beef?
I don't understand why the announcers insist on trying to explain away the Roman Reigns boos. I mean,
I have a note about that.
He's getting crushed, and Corey Graves is trying to make it sound like that only happens in London. But it happens absolutely everywhere. And then you have Michael Cole saying that he's getting serenaded by the London crowd. No, he's getting booed out of the GD building. They don't want him there.
Right. So my note about this was, you're right. The term they used was the typical UK reaction for Roman Reigns. And
it's everywhere they've been.
They said that in Montreal. They say it in Philly. They say it in Brooklyn. They say it in the United Kingdom. Like, when are we going to get a clue about how to book Roman Reigns?
And I'm convinced that someone in the back, and you know, if you've got Vince forcing you to make this guy a face, and your job, Rob, let's say it's your career now on the line. It's your job. Vince says, turn him, make him, get them cheering for him. Why isn't he? And it's your fault, Rob. Write it. Get them cheering for him. They're in the back scrambling. They're like, well, let's put him with Jinder Mahal. Nobody cheers that guy ever. They're bound to cheer for Roman Reigns. Wrong. Jinder got cheers. I was like, oh, give up.
So here, let me ask you, I'm going to pose that to you in a different way. Let's say your job is to choose the next face of the company, and you can use Roman Reigns as a choice if you want to. But obviously that was the slot they had designed for him, and it's not working. And it seems like they may even be we may have seen the beginning of a turn away from that here this week. I'm not sure. Who do you go with? And I've got two names in mind.
I have two names.
Okay. Why don't you give one of your names? And I'll give you probably the other one, because we might have the same.
Seth Rollins.
Oh, really? That was not one of my names.
I think Seth Rollins is definitely. You're not going to find anybody to put on better matches right now.
That means zero.
But it does and it doesn't. I mean, like, Shawn Michaels was the face of the company for a while, and Bret Hart certainly was, and they got that largely based on the merit inside the ring. It's a lot of other stuff too, but I feel like, I don't know, you could put just as much behind Seth Rollins as you're putting behind Roman Reigns, and it would work.
See, here's what I think of. Like,
I know who you're going to say.
Yesterday, Brittany came home and she was just going through her Facebook newsfeed on her phone, and she sees John Cena on Hoda and Kathy Lee or whatever show it is, talking about wanting Nikki Bella back, and that interests her. And she's watching it, and I'm thinking to myself, like, Cena, is so good. Like, he was such a good choice. Sorry about that. He was such a good choice to be the face. Like, not everyone saw it at first, but when you put him in a movie, he's good at it. When you send him to the Tonight Show, he's good at it. When he's crying to Hoda and Kathy Lee, like, he's good at it. And I think we can all agree that's not Roman Reigns' spot.
No, not at all. So okay, now I know what you're going to say now.
So the first name I'm going to suggest is Daniel Bryan.
Oh, okay. I wasn't thinking that.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking Seth. So now I'm enjoying this conversation.
Yeah.
So I think Daniel, whenever he goes anywhere, he's loved. He gets way over on those reality shows. And if you want to talk about having good matches, I mean, Bryan's every bit as good as Seth is, if not better.
Absolutely.
And just genuinely got himself. I'm hoping we're not having any problems, are we? I'm hoping everything's okay. Sorry.
Everything's fine on my end. I don't hear a single thing, and I'm muted, and everything's good.
Okay, sorry about that. I got distracted. He had that magical stuff. The magical stuff always happens to him, whether you're talking about the Yes Movement, whether you're talking about the coming back from an injury. He's surrounded by magic, and that's not Roman. So he's one of my two names. Who's your other name?
My other name was AJ Styles.
Oh, wow. That wasn't even my other. But this is amazing. We both had two names, and they're not. Neither one of them are the same.
That's great. Do you disagree with mine? Like, I don't disagree with yours at all. I just, it's looking at it from a different perspective, I guess.
Okay, we're good. Thank you, Steve. Yeah. Okay. See, AJ is another guy that I feel like if you were to put AJ in a movie, it wouldn't go over like it would with a Daniel Bryan in a movie. Personally, that's the way I feel.
Okay, so I think I know who your second name is. I'm very interested to hear who you say.
I'd be willing to give a shot to Braun Strowman.
That's not who I thought you were going to say. This is great.
Who'd you think I was going to say?
The Miz. I thought The Miz was coming. I mean,
oh, man. See, these are also. I don't. Oh, man. Is that your other name?
Yeah. If I had to pick three, I would have picked AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, and The Miz.
Yeah, and I would have picked Daniel Bryan and Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman could really actually be perfect because he's huge, and everybody likes. I was thinking about it the other day when you look at like the big crossover stars from wrestling to movies, the big ones. You had Hogan, you had The Rock, you have John Cena. People want. When you come out of wrestling, they want you to be gigantic. And Braun Strowman fits that bill. And from what I can tell, he's funny and can act.
Yeah, it seems like while he's untested in that environment, I bet you if you sent him, as a champion to the Tonight Show, I bet you he'd be really funny.
He'd be really funny. And I think he'd be a really funny villain in a comedy or something like that.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. I agree with that. So those are we didn't even plan on having this conversation. I'm glad that we did take that detour.
But notice of all the names we came up with, none of them was Roman Reigns.
Roman's not the guy for this spot. And I'm not saying he needs to be fired. I don't think that he's necessarily bad. This is just
bad.
This spot
is good. I think he's good. I'd take him over Bo Dallas. I'd take him over a lot of guys, but I wouldn't take him in that spot.
I was going to say, I'm going to change my original statement. My original statement was going to be that spot is for the top 1%. And that's not even the way I feel. That spot is for a specific 1%. And that's not where Roman is. So
I just don't understand why they refuse. I don't understand why they're ignoring it. I don't remember a time when they've done this. Like they noticed when they wanted people to boo Steve Austin and nobody did. The whole direction of the company and the way they did everything, they didn't have good guys and bad guys anymore because people were cheering the bad guys. They changed everything. And here they just refuse to. And they've got Corey Graves and Michael Cole insulting our intelligence and telling us that this is a UK response when we heard it in every town for the past 3 months.
Which, by the way, they've been all over the globe. Every week they're in a new continent, for goodness sake.
They really are all over the place.
Let's get to the actual stuff that happened on Raw. Let's start with Roman because he was a big part of the show last night, and it seems like direction for him is being moved away from that main event picture, which is probably, I feel like, a good move. He's been in the main event for quite a long time. Obviously, it's not just the UK crowd is souring to it. I feel like a mid-level program with Jinder, maybe even a low-level program with Jinder, might be what the doctor ordered for right now.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing that brings Roman down to a level where everyone's going to be able to tolerate him, and it's bringing Jinder back up to a level where he's not getting totally buried. Like he's in a visible program. And Roman did some heely stuff last night, so maybe this is the heel turn, but they're not double turning anybody with Jinder. Jinder, I think they put him with Jinder so he would get cheers.
Yeah.
I don't mind that program at all. I don't mind it, and
Agreed.
I'm actually relieved by it because it keeps Roman out of Money in the Bank.
There was one facepalm moment for me last night, though. Do you know when that was?
Which one?
It was involving Jinder and Roman. So when Roman speared Jinder through the wall in the hallway,
the fake drywall, yeah,
it looked so. Once you saw what was behind that, essentially cardboard, I thought it looked really exposed. And then I can't believe they replayed it because I almost thought it was like such a botch. Like It was not only like cardboard, but it was like it wasn't like some, it looked like the hallway you'd walk down with your ticket to get to your seat.
Yeah, there's no reason for a wall there,
Correct.
let alone the wall the Shockmaster busts through. It's ridiculous.
Right, exactly. So that was my thought about that. I just thought that it looked really bad on television. Not a bad concept, but it didn't get executed properly.
Sure.
Other things that I loved last night. Can we say hello to the B team?
The best team. The best team.
This is a really good turn for them, I feel like. I think now they might be onto something.
I think they're definitely onto something, and I enjoy that. I think that's great with the B shirts, and then they got a win, and then they were like...
They're undefeated.
Well, they're undefeated, and they sold the shock of winning. They couldn't believe it. They celebrated. It reminded me of, coaching my son's Pee-wee game. They're in the middle of the second inning. It's not the end of the game at all. One kid caught a ball. He caught it. And it was I thought someone was getting a Gatorade bath. Like they were just celebrating, tackling them on the field. I was like, there's still guys on base. Like, I understand you're happy. That's how they celebrated last night. I thought it was great.
That was a great comparison, by the way. And not only that, I feel like Raw's tag division, like now that you throw in the Deleter of Worlds, you got Dolph and Drew, like their tag team division is looking very different than it did pre-Superstar Shakeup.
Yeah, and they gave Dolph and Drew a big win last night over Braun and Finn.
Mm-hmm. So I like the way the tag team division is shaping up. I'm just kind of going through these kind of quickly here.
By the way, that Royal Rumble trophy was not supposed to break last night, right? That was not supposed to happen.
I did. You know what, Jerry? I got to go back and watch that. I was working on some save the dates last night.
Amazing. Braun Strowman does his outside the ring shoulder tackle on Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre goes ass over teacups, and like his leg extends. And his leg extends further than he's supposed to, and he just bumps. This is why I know that it wasn't supposed to happen, because if it was supposed to break, he was going into it hard. He just like bumps it, and it goes back towards JoJo and a million pieces.
Oh, I've got to watch that. I'm going to go back and check that. Thank you.
That flimsy piece of crap broke. Swords were all over the place.
And it broke over a woman, so you know that they're happy about that.
Oh, they love it. They love. Could you have made it out of stone?
Why I can't stand Nia Jax. Just the footage of her at the upfronts is just not. It's not WWE quality, and I'm talking about wrestling wise.
I don't want a smiling giant.
Stop.
You throw the challenge at Ronda Rousey, and then you both leave patting each other on the back and wooing. I hated everything about that.
This is like one thing that bothered me about Asuka's loss at WrestleMania was seemingly how happy she was to have lost at WrestleMania. She was just like thrilled that Charlotte beat her. Can't anyone get upset on that division? Like, really? Stop being so nice. You're freaking Nia Jax. You know, if you're gonna challenge Ronda Rousey, don't do it. You know, just freaking do it.
Do it and don't be buddies about it. Quit being buddies.
Yeah. Let's see what else.
Match of the night. You gonna bring that up? That was so good.
I'm assuming you're talking about Owens and Rollins.
Holy smokes, that match was great.
Yeah, I was again. I had a tough time staying focused because we were doing save the dates last night too. We're just printing addresses and you know the whole thing.
We don't have to worry about mine. The date's already saved, baby.
Oh, I mean, but you're getting a magnet.
I want that magnet. Yeah, we need it. We got a lot of homework on our fridge. We need to hang up with magnets.
Well, we got one that you're gonna like, I think, coming your way sometime soon. We're
getting the kids ready for social media. What I like to do is take their artwork, put it on the fridge, and then write mean comments underneath
it. And then, I loved. I had a joke last night. It's kind of funnier if you're watching, but sure. I thought that Braun teaming up with Finn Balor. My note was, oh, look, Braun rekindled his tag team with Nicholas.
Look, Nicholas got a haircut and abs.
And then Nicholas is for everyone. And then my only other real note was I enjoyed the Bobby's sister chant. Obviously, people picked up on the same things that we did of the awkward Bobby Lashley promo.
So bad. And I like Sami Zayn going after Bobby Lashley. I mean, we know how this is going to go, but I like it.
I liked the vertigo gimmick.
Yeah.
I did. So,
my new favorite thing. My new favorite thing is when Sami Zayn reads. Like, cause he's done this twice now. He puts on his reading glasses. He acts like such an old man. He needs like a cardigan. I think he's like, all right. And it reads as such. And he starts, and I'm really into Sami Zayn right now. Like, I like him and Kevin Owens.
He's been doing the best promo work of his life, but I feel like he's still really annoying on delivery.
Oh, see, I like the annoying. The annoying's what's doing it for me.
It might be just a good heel delivery, but I think it's just I'm annoyed by his delivery kind of thing.
Okay. Okay.
Anything else we should mention? Or I know it was kind of quick. We got a late start, and I'm kind of hoping to get out of here by 10. But if you got something, we can do it.
No, we're good. Kevin Owens is in Money in the Bank, and I'm hoping. I think of all the people in Money in the Bank, he'd be the best one with the briefcase. So
it looks like my false headline last week wound up being a spoiler as opposed to a mistake.
Hey, you're like Paul Heyman. You don't give predictions. You give spoilers.
That's right. Well, listen, hey, thanks, Jer. Thanks, Steve, for letting me know everything was good. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. By the way, tomorrow, I do want to talk about the potential of a post-to-post Facebook group.
Oh, yes.
We'll also cover SmackDown 2. That's tomorrow on Post to Post. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow. What's that, Jared?